What is up, everybody? Welcome to Happy Hour, Friday night happy hour with Monk, with Lou. It's us. It's Friday. You're here. It's the last not pay per view, last UFC event of 2022, and we would rather spend it no other way than with you guys. Lou, are you looking forward to the card? I know it's a bit bittersweet. We've got 4 weeks off after this, so we got to make the most of this one. What do you think of the card?
I wish it was more than 4 weeks off. Sorry.
I know, right?
I need a lot of time off. I need like a year off after doing this every week.
It's
This is
been a year.
our 39th show, so
Yeah,
not a nice fun number, not even a prime number, but
I
next year will
know.
be the 40th, which is pretty cool. We've made it this far. I'm looking forward to this card as a fan. There's a lot of tricky betting spots on this, but I don't like publicize wins and losses on Twitter because I have class. I win with class. I lose with
Exactly.
class. I'm doing this for a long time, but I'm coming off like my biggest week of the
A
year.
heater, as they say.
I'm coming off like a really big week. So because of that, I'm going super light this week.
Oh, I
Like I
thought you
just
were going to
don't.
say, I'm just going to
Nah.
be throwing money to the wind.
No, I mean just because you have it like in the roll doesn't mean. And this is a card where like I think you have to be smart. Like I see Pat's in the chat. Pat and I've talked about our bets this week. I only have two in actually because Marquez win got canceled. So I only have
Yep.
two actual bets that are in, but I think by the end of the night I'll have like 17 and hate that I got there. But I will be playing some lineups this weekend. I like this card a lot better for DraftKings than I do for betting.
Oh, it was even better before that fight got pulled off. Apparently, Jerron Wynn, hope he's okay, I guess, fell backwards down the stairs and hit his. I have no idea. It sounded terrible, but he is out. Marquez is out. We got 13 fights. The first of which, let's get right into it, Lou, is Sergey Morozov going against Journey Nusa. $9,300 for Sergey Morozov, 6,900 for Journey Newsom. I like Morozov here, but the side for DraftKings is neither. Neither at all. Journey Newsom scores 2 points a minute. 65 is what he scored when he put up his win against, I believe, Fernie Garcia. Morozov on the other side should land a takedown or two. 3.51 a minute, but he only scored 91 when he per win so far. That's what we want to avoid here at 9,300. We either need a ton of points or just that's about what we need, a ton of points. Guy's 1,275 over his average salary. I don't trust him, Lou, for DraftKings. I'm going to be kind of fading this first fight of the night. If there is a side, though, I guess it's Morozov. I got to see what Journey could do. It's just a 1-2 record. If he loses, he's probably cut, I would imagine. What's your take on this one? Right now, Newsom's ownership is at 6%. So do with that what you will.
I mean, if you got Morozov earlier in the week at like minus 225, like I know Pat did or whatever, like that's fine.
It's not bad.
But I'm not impressed with this guy. And like, I can't get the Andrade fight out of my head.
Yep.
Luckily for him, Journey Newsom is not good. Like he might be a fine human being. He's not a good fighter. And look, if Morozov, it's probably a decision win. I see AOs in the chat saying a lot of decisions, and I tend to agree. I think this is a really bad card for time props, which considering like the state of the judging, some of the decisions we've seen lately, it's another reason I'm not as keen to get heavily invested in this card when I feel like so many fights will in fact go the distance. There is a way I'm going to mitigate that, but we'll get to that as these certain fights come up. Morozov's a pick for the show. No bet here. I won't get to him at minus 300. I have no interest in him at this number. BetMGM has him at minus 350, which is like,
good God.
Well, they don't tend to do like 05s. They do like DK has them at 305. BetMGM is just like, it seems like they go up just by quarter increments. Like their database can't handle like anything other than
what's a nickel? Yeah,
a nickel. So Morozov for the show, and I don't have any DraftKings interest in him either. I like for his price. I mean, for fuck's sake, dude, like he's got to get like 7 takedowns, 8 takedowns, and like 13. And he doesn't throw a lot of punches on the ground either. So like if he's getting takedowns, it's like you're just getting the 5 points and the control time. Like, you're not getting any strikes.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You need
On the
to
feet you
land
are,
some
not on the
ground and
ground.
pound. Yeah, you need some ground and pound. Those strikes add up so quickly. It's really incredible. You land a couple minutes worth of ground and pound, what that does to your DraftKings score. No, I completely agree there. Next fight, The Undertaker. Can you do the eye roll in the back of your head thing? David Dvorak going against Manel Kopp. What do you think about this one? Again, it's a very interesting fight for DraftKings. What kind of betting lines are out there?
So Copp's big favorite, obviously. I don't know if you guys saw it, the weigh-ins today. I posted something about it. The lights went out. It was like the red light, like Kane was coming out with Paul Bearer to like choke slam some bitches. It was pretty funny, I thought. And of course, like, you got the bros there just broing out, not realizing the camera's on. I'm like, yo, I'm a bro and you're a bro. And I'm like, all right, great. And so it finally got interesting. With like the fucking lights. So I don't know. Let's put it this way. I don't know how Kopp wins the decision here. Dvorak has decision equity. Kopp does not. Kopp has KO equity. Dvorak, if he gets some takedowns going, is live for a decision or like a late sub. So here's the way I've chosen to bet this fight. I have a bet on Kopp round 1 KO at plus 350. If it gets out of the first round, and Kopp look decent, Dvorak might be plus 500 live. He might maybe a little less. So if Kopp doesn't get him out of there round 1, I think a live bet on Dvorak is the way to go. You're going to get a good price. Unless Dvorak totally dominates him the first round, takes him down, and controls him, then you're just losing the bet. But that's the way I've chosen to play this. I don't know, man. The problem I've had with Dvorak historically is that he's at his worst in like the first 3-4 minutes of the fight.
Yeah,
like he gets tagged early and often, and it seems like it takes him a while to get into the fight. And the Kopp is most dangerous in this first 3-4 minutes. So
yeah.
So I tend to lean Kopp getting it done early, and you can't bet this money line. If you're betting the money line, like I don't understand it because, like I said, I don't know his path of decision. So if you like the Kopp side, take him by KO. It's plus 165. Not unreasonable for what I think for this fight. So, but that's the way I've chosen to play it is Kopp round 1 and with an intent to live bet on Dvorak. I guess I was just going to disagree with everything I said today.
That's hey, it helps helps
We're allowed to
balance things
disagree.
out.
Hey, man.
That's right. I know one thing for sure is I don't like this fight for DraftKings at all right now. David Dvorak ownership about what Journey Nuisance is, kind of what I was expecting, under 10%. Scores 2 points a minute, 75 per win. If I'm going to have anyone, rather, it's probably going to be Manel Kopp, but I'm not going to have a ton of him. At 9,100, you are reliant on that first round KO from Kopp, which he can do. Dvorak has never, actually, that's not true. He has been finished once in his 4 professional losses. Kopp really just had one fight, that Zalgas fight, that's really swaying his numbers. I guess he did put up a decent amount. He put up 107 against Ode Osborne, put up 131 against Zalgas Zumagulov.
He didn't look great in that Osborne fight for the first couple minutes. Osborne was landing a lot of shots on him.
Yep. Again, if you take that 90-point win bonus, he got 17 points there, which I guess isn't too bad. But again, very heavily first round KO reliant for DraftKings, in my opinion. I'm not really banking on that with our guy, the Undertaker here. I lean more of how Lou's looking at it, kind of a live bet situation. At least it gets out of the first round. So I will kind of be fading Kopp right now. His ownership about 26%. I will be comfortable being under that. For sure. Next fight, I got to change this guy's nickname. He is no longer the Pooh Bear against his mother's better wishes, apparently. Brian Battle going against.
What's his nickname?
It starts with a B. It's like Barbarian or it's something. It's something a little more tougher than Pooh Bear. I can look it up while we're going here. Brian Battle against Renat Fakhretdinov. This is an interesting one. I'm going to be leaning Brian Battle here. Fakhretdinov looked great against Andreas Michailidis, who's no longer in the UFC. I think Brian Battle is a class above what Michailidis was offering. Battle also very, very tough. Only been subbed. Only had one loss. It was a sub loss in his career. And if anyone knows Brian Battle's current nickname, please let me know, because that's driving me crazy while I'm talking. Does score very well, 4.24 a minute, 104 when he wins. A ton of that did come from the Takashi Sato head kick knockout in the very first minute.
It's the Butcher.
Thank you. Okay, I knew it was a B. The Butcher, Brian the Butcher Battle. I like, I'm a fan of alliteration. I'm a sucker there, so that's I'm gonna approve of that one. But yeah, apparently his mother did not like the the name change. Why don't you just call yourself Pooh Bear? What's wrong with Pooh Bear? 127, yeah, the head kick KO of Takashi Sato. Not expecting that against Renat Fakhretdinov. I like Brian Battle for cash. I'm going to be leaning more towards him for the cash play. Fakhretdinov's ownership is crazy right now, 36% projected ownership for the Gladiator. I can't get on board with that. I'm going to have to come in well below that. I think he has a chance here. I like Battle. The longer this fight goes, second, third round, I think Battle can start to make it his fight and get the decision here. So I like him for cash, not so much for GPPs. What are your thoughts on this fight?
I lean Battle here. I know we were talking for the show, like, I feel like Renat for DraftKings is interesting just because of his style. And I feel like everybody looks bad against Michailidis for like a round. It's like welcome to the UFC. Like, you have to look bad against this guy for 5 minutes. Like, I mean, Pereira did. Like, it's just weird.
No kidding.
I don't know that I'm sold on Battle huge here. Like, I don't know, like, his future. I do like the Butcher a lot better than like Pooh Bear. I will say that.
It does roll off the tongue nicely.
But one thing I like about Battle is he's way more active on the feet. It's not like Renat does any damage on the ground either. So like Battle's get up game's decent. So I think he's going to be, and he looked good on the scales, which was important. Like Brady and I were talking about this during the week. Like, if he looks good, if he doesn't look good on the scales, fight doesn't go is a look. But Battle looked pretty good. I think he'd get a late finish, but honestly, you're giving me plus money with it. I mean, if you want to do Battle round 3 sub, that's an intriguing prop to consider, and then maybe bet. I do favor his submission here. I know everybody's going to be on the KO because of the last fight, but I favor him more by sub. But give me Battle to win, probably at 29, 28. He's a little bit of a can crusher, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say we're kind of undecided on that, but so far, yeah, I mean, he hasn't proven his strength of schedule is not great in his last 5 battles. Is a few points better. Fakhretdinov sitting at about 60s, 63 strength of schedule. So 70s where you want to be. He is a bit below that. Let's keep it moving. Love it, love it. Next fight, Mahashate, the man they call Mahashate, the lone weight miss, I believe, of the card, going against Rafa, don't call me Hafa Garcia this week. 8,400 for Mr. Garcia, 78 for Mahashate. We get Mahashate. I was gonna say coming in on short notice, but that I just crossed my my comments. Yeah, we get Mahashate coming off of a win, first round KO over another man named Garcia, Steve Garcia. He scored 112 in that fight. Rafa is extremely tough, never been finished in his entire professional career. I think I'm on an island here this week. A lot of people think Mahashate is a fraud. I'm not ready to say that yet. I think he has a chance here against Rafa Garcia. I'm gonna play some Mahashate this week at $7,800. Rafa Garcia, I might play a bit of. Actually, my God, this can't be right. Mahashate's projected ownership is 44%. That can't be right. That can't be right. He's going to come in more like 25 if I had to guess, guys, 25 or so percent. Right now, Rafa Garcia is under that, about 20%. So I kind of think that's okay. I'm not looking to play Rafa Garcia out, in any format, really. I mean, maybe cash, but I don't think he's guaranteed a win here. So that one could be a bit tough. He does have a lot of takedown and control time points historically, 1.8 points per minute in those two categories. That is a stat I can get behind for cash. So there's a little bit of backup for Garcia. Mahashate, I'm dependent on the KO. Obviously, you're dependent on the first round KO. And unless he can somehow get Garcia to the ground and pound, which I don't see happening, this could be an interesting fight. So give me Mahashate. For the memes, I guess. But if that ownership comes in at 40%, I'm going well under that, guys. I can't believe that has to be an error. It's got to be about 25%. Lou, what are you thinking here?
All right, let's calm the fuck down with this fight against Steve Garcia. Okay? Steve Garcia stinks.
Rafa's tough. He's not great.
And wasn't that fight in like literally his house or some shit? Weren't they
That
like,
might have been his house.
okay, so like there you go. So what do I know about like, so look, I see chat is
Oh, excuse me.
big on the Garcia side, and I am as well, unlike you. And I think he's good for DraftKings because, you know, like this whole narrative about like, is Mahashate's takedown defense good? We're gonna find out. The one thing I know about Garcia is he's not going to be dropped by 1 or 2 shots. He's a dog, man. His cardio maybe is not like awesome, but I thought the fight against Levy was interesting. Like even like I liked him in that fight. I liked the way he came through. The Ronson fight was just that's what he should do. The Ronson
Right.
and I think the Ronson fight's very comparable to this. I think Mahashate is very one dimensional.
Well, that's
I
bad
think
for me then.
it's very bad for you. I hope because this is one of my
you
few
are
best.
you turned tail on Mahashate. You were the Mahashate fanboy last time, and now
No, I hate Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is so bad.
Okay.
I'm like, I'll take anybody on the roster against. And look, Steve Garcia made me pay for it last time with Chase Hooper, but I will take like literally anybody against Steve Garcia. Like Steve Garcia and Charlie Ontiveros, like no problem. Like give me whoever their opponent is, and like, can we get them on every card? So just have like an instant 2-leg parlay I could just put on everything. I think Garcia can make it ugly. I think he can get it to the ground. We really haven't seen Mahashate's cardio tested. I know he went 3 rounds on the Contender Series with Achilles, Archimedes, whatever the fuck his name was, but like they were both looking so bad in the third. I mean, that was a weird fight. Like to even like, what did I learn from that? So give me Garcia is more proven. The line's really nice. And I do think he can control him. And I think like the sub in the round 3 subs are super interesting here.
That is an interesting look for it for sure. That late Rafa Garcia finish, as I say his name properly, for the last time of the week. Next fight, the Battle of the Saids. This one, very interested in. I'll let you go ahead and start this one off, but I'm definitely interested in one side over the other. We've got Said Nurmagomedov going against Said Yakub Kakhramonov. Kakhramonov is the guy that only has 2 fights in the UFC. Nurmagomedov is 5-1. What's your take on this fight?
Man,
I
this
know.
is tough. Like, so I don't know that I'm gonna bet it at this point. I think, like, I liked Kakhramonov all week because I like the takedown upside. I also like his cardio a little better here. But now we've lost a little bit of line value on it, and it's tricky for me because I think that Nurmagomedov can stuff some takedowns early, but I still favor, you know, the Kakhramonov side here. I think if this fight gets extended, and honestly, I don't see a quick finish here. The longer this fight goes, late second, early third, I think Kakhramonov should be the fresher guy. Like that Lawrence fight was just, Ronnie Lawrence is not an easy guy to tire out, and he just mauled him. So I worry about the first round a little bit. If he doesn't have early success, I think he can get pieced up on the feet, but he's still young and he's still improving too. So I'll take the shot on Kakhramonov. I had him by decision on the prop show. My co-host this week, Max, actually liked him round 3. And I remembered that I had him round 3 against Lawrence, and he wasn't even close to getting me there. So,
Right.
So I'm not going to play any kind of weird props here. I lean Kakhramonov. I lean him in DK as well because he's cheaper. I know it's only 200, but that's a big difference on a card like this for the way my lineup construction is. So not a lot of confidence, but give me Kakhramonov here to get it done with like a nice 29-28, like greasy fuck. Because he does throw strikes on the ground at least, unlike talking about Renat. Like he's active on the ground.
Which again is huge for DraftKings when you've got that control time. You just, every time you land a shot, whether it's a significant strike or otherwise, it's a minimum 0.2 points. So
chat's 50-50 on this too. I mean,
I don't think surprised.
Like I think you could ask 10 different people and get like 10 different reasons as to why you think one guy's going to win. Honestly, I don't have a bet on this yet. And like I said, I lost a little bit of my line value, but this is going to be a fun fight to watch.
Oh yeah, and I'm right there with you on the Kakhramonov side for DraftKings, $8,000. I'm gonna have a ton of this fight, probably close to 70-80% right now. The projected ownership is right at 50%, which I find insulting. This fight should be way higher owned than that. That said, I like Kakhramonov here. He's only 400 over his average. Guy scores 4.84 points per minute, guys. He's a takedown machine, as he showed against Ronnie Lawrence. He landed 2 in Trevin Jones. I mean, that fight was his debuting fight. Looked much better in his second fight in the UFC here. I like Said Nurmagomedov. I don't mind him at all. He's been fairly dominant outside of the Raoni Barcelos fight. Beat up our guy Douglas Silva de Andrade. That was an extremely close fight, in my opinion. Got the very quick win over Cody Stamann, and he beat down Mark Striegel in less than a minute. So that was a ridiculous thing.
Well,
so
I'm going to make a bold statement that Kakhramonov is better than Striegel and Stamann.
Yeah, I think
that
is bold. That is bold.
Bold take that he is better. So
yeah, I like it. The only thing Nurmagomedov is he holds his opponents to 1.55 points a minute. Kakhramonov holds his opponents to 1.65. So I don't think that's going to happen in this one, but both guys have shown good defense and very good DraftKings offense as well, ability to score points. So, I'm going to be leaning with Kakhramonov here.
I just want to add this. Somebody had asked me earlier in the week if this is a stackable fight, and I said I hate the idea of stacking this one. And unlike you, I'm kind of okay with stacking in certain situations. Right. The problem here is if Kakhramonov wins, he's scoring like 100 some points, and Nurmagomedov's probably scoring like 12.
Yep.
And if Nurmagomedov wins, he might knock him out, and Kakhramonov's getting like 1 point.
You're taking a big risk.
I feel like this is just for the way their win conditions are. I feel like this is. I mean, unless this is going to be like mat return the whole fight, I think this is a good fight to avoid in a stack.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like I said, I like saving $200 as well with the dog. Here's one I don't really know how it's going to go. Jake Matthews going against Matthew Semmelsberger. Jake Matthews 9,200. That is coming off of a big win over Andre Fiallo. Guy's 4-1 in his past 5, with his only loss being to Sean Brady, on which he got subbed late in the fight. Semmelsberger on the other side, you don't know what you're going to get with him. He is 3-2 in his last 5, with losses to Chaos Williams and Alex Morono. Did beat AJ Fletcher and Martin Sano, one of the worst fighters that has ever been on the UFC roster. The DraftKings upside is much higher for Semmelsberger, and that's probably how I'm going to look to play this. Right now, his projected ownership is only 12%. I like him more than I like a lot of other people at that low end, super low end range of salaries. So Semmelsberger is someone I don't mind putting in. Scores 3.4 a minute, 104.5 when he wins, and he's 14.50 under his average. 3 of his 4 UFC wins, he scored over 100 points. So that's what I'm interested in. The Jake Matthews side, those numbers are just not there. His defensive pace is okay, but he scores only 3 points a minute and 91 per win. That is not even 10xing his $9,200 salary. The pick is probably Jake Matthews, but I think Semmelsberger has a legit chance here, and I like his ceiling much more than Jake Matthews. So that's how I'll kind of be looking to play this one. 12% projected ownership for Semmelsberger is crazy. Matthews at 23% right now at that high salary. What have you got for this one?
Yeah, I think I'm the only one in the community. I took a small poke on Semmelsberger.
Oh, nice.
Not a lot of confidence, but to me, the way I look at this fight is if Matthews doesn't use takedowns, and he didn't against Fiallo. So if Matthews didn't, if he's not going to go for takedowns here and they're standing, I don't know that he's not a 3-1 favorite to me standing. If he's implementing takedowns, he's going to easily pay off his money line, but I'm not so sure he will. Semmelsberger's like not great on the ground, but I mean, against Fletcher, he was okay, but AJ Fletcher kind of gassed, and he took that fight on short notice. But yeah, I mean, like, this is a good point if he uses it. And that's why I'm like, man, there's a chance he might just come in and say, like, I'm just going to stand and bang with this guy. And Semmelsberger, look, I don't know that I love his skill set, but he does have some pop, does have some power. Matthews has like some kind of weird injury histories too. Like, he's been durable in fights, but I don't know, man. He's kind of, his career is so weird with like how much time. Like, I feel like he's been in the UFC for 15 years.
He's got 16 UFC fights. He's 28 years old.
I know, but it's like they're spaced out weird too.
They are, yeah.
Like it's a really weird, I don't know. It's bizarre to look at his like timeline, but I took the poke on Semmelsberger. Like I said, really low confidence. But I looked at the number and I'm like, I don't think it should be that much. But like, if Matthews goes to the grappling, his bet's dead.
Yeah, 100% agree
But
with
he
you
didn't against Fialho,
on
so
that.
like I just can't make the assumption he's going to go to it.
Right.
And
Yeah, dog or pass.
Semmelsberger is like, I saw somebody in the chat saying like fight to end in KO. Like Semmelsberger's tough, man. Like he takes beatings and he can hang in there. And Matthews has shown he's pretty tough on the feet too. So I don't really love time props here. If anything, I favor the Matthews sub.
I
Like
was gonna say,
if any kind of finish, but even that is like he would have to kind of commit to it, by like the early second round. I don't think he gets like a flash sub. I think he would have to just wear out Semmelsberger, who, like I said, has shown for his limited skill set, at least has shown some good durability. So small poke on Semmelsberger. I want no part of this for DraftKings either.
love it. Here we go. Next fight, Cheyenne Vlismus. The whispers of Delice are in the air, going against Corey McKenna. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this one because I am fully on the Cheyenne Vlismus side. I don't trust Corey McKenna at all. She looks, about like the most unphysical person that's on the entire UFC roster. I don't know how she scores almost 4 points a minute, but she does. She is 1,100 under her average salary. So if you're looking to play her, this is the week. I just love Vlismus here. I think I forget who else said it. I'm not the first one this week, but I do think she is, a bright star in the future of this division for sure. 3.53 points a minute, 110 when she wins. Obviously, that is coming from mainly one fight, the Gloria DePaula fight, which she knocked her out in the first minute, scored 135 against GDP. Mallory Martin, she did score only 86 in a decision. That's not going to pay off a $9,000 salary. But I would look to play Vlismus in cash. I'm not too excited about this fight at all for GPPs. I'm not looking at Corey McKenna to pay off a $7,200 salary. Right now, the ownership is very even, 22%, which I am kind of surprised by. But McKenna is so cheap that maybe people, if I wanted to play McKenna, I would just probably play Semmelsberger instead. I just don't see it for McKenna this week. She does have a decent takedown to control time game where she looked to implement that against Granger. Did lose to Elise Reed, which I cannot forgive. Left hook Larry over here, Elise Reed. Give me Cheyenne Vlismus. Like I said, like her for cash, maybe a little bit in GBPs to get different, but I don't know how I would feel about putting Corey McKenna in any of my lineups this week, Lou. What do you think about that?
So that McKenna fight against Elise Reed not only was the beginning of like, I think that was that, if I'm wrong, tell me, was that the Arnold Allen Hooker card as well?
It could have been. I don't have that in front of me.
All I know is I went like 1-11 on that card. It was it was in England, and that set off like a 6-card losing streak, this one fight. So if you think I'm betting this fight, you're out of your fucking mind. I want no part of this fight. I don't think Vlismus, look, I guess like the line's right, but I don't feel great about betting her either.
Right.
I don't want to make the comment because I don't want to get yelled at by Mr. Deliza. So
no, you don't.
But I could make the comment that I can intelligently guess her grappling has improved.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And if it has, I'm not the first person to say this week, but McKenna has the physicality of like
a grape,
like a small child.
A snowman.
So, and none of that, but like McKenna shoots from so far away that like you don't even have to be good at defending takedowns. She's shooting from 5-6 like feet away. So if Vlismus can read it, I think she keeps it on the feet. And I don't know what the fuck McKenna would do to her on the feet. So I'll pick Vlismus. I am not betting. I will be drinking during this fight. This will be my I'm away from the computer, gone fishing. I'll come back. And I do think I see that Io says bet the KO. If this is 15 minutes on the feet, and I don't think Vlismus is some like power striker, but if this is on the feet for 15 minutes, 1,000,000% she could KO her here. 1,000,000%. And you're getting pretty, like, I don't know that I would get there here, but like I'm trying to look at what this number is. It's DK has it at plus 400. I like that number. I think plus 400's pretty good equity for somebody who's a minus 180 favorite. That's purely a striker.
True. I like that. One last comment here before we move on. I don't know where Glenn is from, but are we calling Christmas Crimbo?
Scotland.
I am I am on board with that. That's that's super cool.
Glenn is Scottish, and
I love it.
and,
Crimbo.
and I don't know if you know this, but if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
They send one of us to the hospital. We send one of those to the morgue.
That's like an old that's like an old SNL thing. Like the all things. I mean, this is like now I need a line on this. Give me a betting line on this.
Crazy
and I'm in. It should mean
how dare you?
It should mean like windmill punches in the first 45 seconds.
Ooh, I like that.
That's like what I assume that means, or like finger in the butt.
little oil check there.
French tickler submission.
Oh,
well, here's the fight.
Here is the fight. Hold on, I gotta do it properly. There we go.
Should I just stop chat right now before we get to this fight? Since I'm the only person in the space with my bet, should I just stop everybody right now?
Yeah, well, let me go first then. I'll just knock this one out. Cody Brundage going against Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. 9,400 for Mikhail. I'm on that side for DraftKings. I think this one, I'm not seriously nothing against Brundage. I have no personal beef, vendettas, nothing like that. I just think Oleksiejczuk, I'm hoping he gets it done early in the first round, pay off this $9,400 salary, and let's keep it moving. If this goes to the ground, I'm going to be very scared for my pick. I'm going to be very scared for any bets that may or may not be on Oleksiejczuk. There are none right now. I'm just saying. If there was, I would be scared because, Cody Brundage by sub is literally just hanging out there. So what have you got for this one, Lou?
You really asking what I've got for this one? Come on, man. If you guys haven't already, please check out the interview that Weezy and I did with Cody.
MMA Engine.
It's really more that Weezy did the interview, and then I asked my usual ridiculously stupid fucking questions to him.
That's what the people are here for.
But he was he's pretty funny, and like he's like, don't tell me what you're gonna ask before we go on air. I'm like,
oh, nice.
I'm like, you sure? Because I said, I'll tell you right now, do not give me artistic freedom to interview you, or I am going to go ham. But like Dustin Jacoby was like talking to us too, like in the room. He was in the room, like we could hear him. But
he didn't even ask for payment, like
Patty
Pimblett.
So let me pretend that I'm not biased here, and why I would still, at the very least, side with Alvy's dead. He's like Alvy's done.
Alvy's dead.
So Brundage is young. He's working on his striking. When he fought Tresean Gore, I'm like, why isn't he going for a takedown? This is at the 4:58 mark of the fight. I was like, why has he not gone for a takedown yet? Like, dude, God, why are you not going for a takedown? Then he finally went for a takedown, and I'm like, all right. Like, Brundage is improving. Oleksiejczuk, it's nice that you spelled his name right, by the way, as opposed to Best Fight Odds that has him as Miker.
Yeah, how do you get Oleksiejczuk right and then misspell?
Oh man, James Lynch is on Brundage too. That's right. I watched the show with Marley this week. I mean, look, you can like Oleksiejczuk all you want, but you have a guy that has a deficiency in his game, and he's minus 300. And I don't care if it was Cody or whoever. I typically don't like those kind of bets. I love the under 1.5 here. I do agree this is pretty binary. Oleksiejczuk bonks him. Or if Brundage gets him down, he's shown some. Look, I'm just biased here. Why am I explaining this? I'm clearly biased. I don't need to break this fight down. Nope. More Cody. I have him round 1 submission at plus 1,200. I have a money line. I think the under 1.5 is completely reasonable. And honestly, fight doesn't start round 3 on DraftKings is minus 175, which I think is crazy reasonable. I will say this: I'd be happy to lose that bet, because if this thing hits the 3rd round, that means Cody's winning this fight.
Oh, 100%.
If Oleksiejczuk hasn't gotten him out of there in the first 10 minutes, Cody's winning. So, I'd be interested in a live bet here too, just to lose the rest of my money. If this thing gets out of the first, I mean, look, the dream scenario there, I guess, for the live bet would really have to be that it stays standing and Brundage doesn't take a lot of damage. That would probably have to be the scenario for that. Because if it does get out of the first and it was Brundage controlling him on the ground, he may be like minus 150 after 1. You don't know. I mean,
the thing is there, I think Oleksiejczuk knows that he's like not good the later it goes, so he's really going to try to get him out of there. It's going to be interesting.
Now I can't give away secrets of what Cody and I talked about this week off air. But I did show him a lot of Tanya Harding clips.
Why?
And I felt that taking that approach with a crowbar would be a really good way to get the first takedown.
With a crowbar. There's a foreign object.
Just like, no, he could do like the old pro wrestling and be like, hey, what's that? Wham! Like, just, distract the ref. Or maybe Jacoby is going to be in his corner. He could just come in and clobber.
That's true.
Yeah, well, Factory X is a good team.
That's
So,
true.
I'm a Factory X fanboy. Obviously, Cody fanboy. Go Cody. I haven't put a bet on him yet because the line keeps getting better. So, like, I really don't have a reason to until I see some resistance.
Well, look, you know what? I only, I'm not like Michael Oleksiejczyk's cousin or nephew or anything. I'm just picking him for DraftKings, so I'll help root. I'll help root for Cody Brundage as well.
And you're not gonna. It's crazy. Now you're not gonna have any of him at that salary.
Oh no, I will absolutely.
You have to have some, dude. He's
14% owned. I'm going to be double that if he stays that low owned. That low ownership is crazy.
I mean, out of all the guys with the low salary, and again, I'm obviously biased here, Blake.
It's him and Semmelsberger for me.
Out of all the guys with the low, oh yeah, he should definitely do the Eddie Guerrero move, which by the way is he drops the chair on the ground, so it makes the noise. But then he hits the ground. It's like, I win by DQ. Well, what I will say is that all the guys that have like that 7,400, like 7,500 salary and lower, Brundage's ceiling is absolutely fucking tremendous for his win condition.
Oh yeah.
I mean his ceiling is 130.
Yep. Well, I think both these guys. I think this is probably the highest ceiling fight on the card.
Oh, maybe? the winner's getting 110 easy.
Yeah.
So you have to play them. Now, here's a fight where they are not getting 110.
Yeah, my guy from Omaha, 402, Drew Dober, going against everybody's favorite Bobby Green. I mean, this guy showed up wearing an orange vest with nothing on underneath it. That is fantastic. I mean, the drip, as the kids say. I sorry, I won't say that again. But yeah, I'm Drew Dober, 8,600, 76 for Bobby Green. What's your take on this fight? Do you think somebody's getting KO'd in this one?
It's a Bobby Green fight. I already made the bet. This is one of the bets I already have in, and it's tracked.
Hornswoggle, shout out.
I already put this bet in, and it's on my Bet MMA tips. This is the old plus 500, plus 900, plus 1,000 play.
There it is.
Fight to end and split, and both guys. Now it's Bobby Green. It's what he does. I was shocked that Dober was. I actually put it in my Bet MMA tips wrong. I shorted myself like $1 on Dober. Dober's plus 1,000. Bobby Green's plus 900, which is funny because Bobby Green can't win a split decision to save his fucking life. So I was really shocked that the numbers were the way they were. I mean, look, you have Dober who has like a humongous dome, and Green, good cardio. I know he's older, but like good cardio, throws a lot. His volume's good. The problem with Green is anytime he gets hit, he's like, nope, that didn't hurt me. It's like, hey, judges, he just hit me. And Dober hits hard. I think Green can have the volume advantage. Nobody's going for takedowns here, even though Green could. He won't. And Dober's going to land big shots, but Green's pretty durable. Yeah, I mean, I'm with AO. Like the decision is almost. I mean, I saw that. Like it's. By the way, the over 2.5 and the decision to go to the decision are under minus 200, which is wild to me. Like the Sarukian fight has worse time props than this. I mean, I understand like that those should be. I think they should be like the same numbers. I mean, especially with Green's history, they're reading the Dober's history too much against guys like Terrence McKinney and Alves, who were like wild men.
They're to kill or be killed.
Whereas Green is really good at staying at a good range. And not only that, but like, Green has looked good in the third rounds of fights.
Yep.
So, So I think this is super. I mean, fight goes over 2.5, great bets. But this is a total split. And I don't favor a side here because I would favor Dober just because the price is better. You're getting a better price. It pays more. The old Lou, it pays more bet.
Yeah.
It is. It's going to be, I think it's just going to be so greasy here. But yeah, I know who he's talking about too. So
I think I do, even though that is past my time.
So yeah, give me the fight to end and split. I'll lean Dober just to have the bigger moments. But I mean, Bobby Green is so due for a split decision win.
Man, isn't he though?
And you can't roster that. I mean, you can't even. I mean, would you stack this in cash? No.
No, I wouldn't play either of these guys in cash. I'd have to be confident as to who's going to win. That's kind of like a big cash thing for me. I need to get that win. I don't care if you score 60, 70, 170. I want you to get that W. I need those bonus points. I would never rely on either of these guys to get me like in this fight. I have no idea who's going to win. 1 unit bet on green by decision. Exactly. I think I said on my show, Game Theory, which is out on the MonkMMATics channel right now, that if this gets to the third round, it could be third round of the year, Lou. Drew Dober and Bobby Green in the third round. Bobby Green smiling and shaking his head. Drew Dober's probably a bit bloody. Gets that smile, and these guys love to get hit.
This number might even be low.
Yeah, 90% of it. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And he is due, like you said.
As my good friend Magic MMA says, I have 1.5 Bobby Greens on this fight.
I love this fight, man. This might be one of my favorite matchups of the night. Right now, ownerships are crazy on this fight, guys. You can find a ton of leverage if you avoid this one for DraftKings, which I likely will be. If this hits the third round, nobody's going to 10x their score. I mean, Bobby Green might, but I'm not really looking for that. 28% for Drew Dober, 20% for Green is a bit high. Neither of these guys score very well overall. Like Lou said, Bobby Green could land takedowns. Drew Dober does get taken down, but that is not going to happen. That is not in the cards. It would be an accident if a takedown gets landed in this fight. It's going to be a banger. I mean, both guys are going to get hit hard as hell. I'm very much looking forward to this. My advice is avoid for GPPs and for cash unless you really like one of these fighters to win. But I'm just more going to be enjoying it, just the fight aspect of it. Next fight, Alex Caceres, Bruce Leroy on a main card going against Julian Erosa. Lou, I think I like Erosa here. I don't know if he's worth his. I guess he is, though. 8,800. He's made the optimal lineup in 3 out of his past 5 fights. These would probably be one against Nate Landwehr. He did beat Nate Landwehr in the first round, in the first minute, rather. Quick win bonus 5 fights ago. Beat Charles Jourdain, beat Steven Peterson, and beat Hakeem Dawodu. He's looked relatively good, close to over 100 points in all of these wins here. 373 a minute, 104 when he wins. I can't trust Alex Caceres. I don't trust him no matter what his salary is, even if he is only 7,400. He gives up a ton of points. He does not. I mean, he's on a decent little streak. 4 of his last 5 did just drop one to Sadiq Yusuf. I think Erosa is one tough son of a bitch. I think he's going to come forward, and Caceres is going to give him a fight, but I think Erosa wears him down, possibly gets a finish here. As far as DraftKings, ownership at 26%, that makes me want to go under. But if that gets any lower, I might be flipping the switch on Mr. Erosa here. I just like him to get the finish here. 5 out of his 6 UFC wins over 90 points, Lou. Any lines sticking out? Any DraftKings advice to give the people on this one? Yeah, I like this from AO.
I don't
think so.
I don't think this line is wide enough.
Yeah, what are we at?
I think Erosa is going to murder him.
He's only minus 170. Okay.
The Julian Erosa, I realize that he's had chin issues. Like, I get it. First of all, Caceres is not the guy to exploit him. But Erosa made a change in camp. He made a change in camp, and he look, the Peterson fight. I know Steven Peterson's not like Steven Peterson's not whatever. I get it. He's not the best fighter in the world, but he's pretty durable. He's tough, and he was 5 pounds heavy. That was the fight where that was the one where he came with the box and did like the flex of shame, and I'm like, all right. And Erosa looked pretty good. That was a war. That's one of my favorite fights in the last couple of years, man. Like it was like one of my favorite fights that had no stakes.
I think I was bowling with my kids and I kept like glancing at my phone. Yeah, it was an awesome fight.
So I like Erosa here, like really big. I do think the finish is live. The Dawodu fight, I was super impressed. This is a step down. This is a big step down. You know, Caceres' winning streak is all against guys that aren't even with the company anymore.
Kevin Kroom, Austin Springer.
Yeesh. So, I mean, like, come on, man. And Caceres was like on a really bad run before that. So,
yeah.
Give me Erosa all day. And I think, I mean, look, he could get this done. Like, I mean, I see that like Propaholic has fight to end with sub. I mean, I like the Erosa sub prop a lot. I think that's his probably more viable path. I mean, he goes for sub standing up too. Like, so he did the Jourdain. Like, yeah, he does some crazy shit. But I think the ground and pound's live. I mean, he's a lot of different ways to beat somebody. So give me Erosa. I have Erosa in the distance at a pretty good number too. So
yeah, that's going to be tough, Effie. I don't know, bud. I mean, I'm pulling for you, but
I mean, if this thing stays
that's a
standing,
sweat.
if it stays standing for 2 rounds, you're going to get there. I just don't see it standing. I think Aros is going to get to the ground, and I think Caceres is kind of oddly. I think Caceres will be okay with it hitting the ground. Like he'll play
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, like just play from guard and like do his best. But you know, I think Aros is just good. This is one of my favorite plays on the card. Like people are like, this line's too wide, and I'm like, no,
not wide enough.
Like Arosa could look like -500 pretty easily here.
Yeah. Man.
Again, if the guy's biggest problem is his chin, the guy's
Yeah.
biggest problem is his chin going against somebody who can't knock anybody out. Like, okay, like
exactly.
No Plus,
Love
how do
it.
you not fucking like Juicy J? This is like the battle, like
dude.
the great nicknames,
Right?
Leroy, Juicy J.
Fantastic. Plus, I did just see on my Twitter timeline the Alex Caceres video of him in a backyard fight hosted by Dada 5000, where he gets dropped and then triangles a dude on some grass and dirt. So that's fantastic. Someone, I believe, I don't know who brought it up. Somebody brought up this fight just a few minutes ago, and we are here. Almir Albazi going against Alessandro Costa. Total round. Can I get like under half a round? Because I think Albazi absolutely rolls through Costa.
Really?
Dude, I'm putting Albazi in every lineup. Every single lineup's going to have its cash lineup. Albazi's going in. GPPs, I mean, his ownership is like 40% right now, give or take. I'm going to be like, 50, 60. I'm going to be a big on Albazi. I think he gets it done against Costa. I think he gets it done early. He rolled over Francisco Figueiredo, and I don't think Costa's, close to Figueiredo at the moment. He scored 111 in that fight in which he subbed Figueiredo in the first round. Yeah, I don't have a lot to break down on this. I think this is the biggest smash spot of the card. If it wasn't a cop out, I would, it would. 9,600. He should win every time, but I don't see what Costa. I think Albazi is a beast, man. I think he's like, I'm a fan of this guy, big time fan. What's your take on the? Did you think Costa's gonna like go to decision, or do you think he has a chance here?
No, I don't think he has a chance.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but he's on short notice. But he's way better than Figueiredo, I think.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. I like what I've seen from Costa. The problem is that Albazi's grappling is so good. If he's getting a KO, it's probably a ground and pound here.
Exactly.
And they're both going to be happy to the ground. But like, dude, Costa's only been finished once, and it was like his third fight. I realize he's never faced this a humongous step up in competition too. So like, I'm well aware of that. But I don't know, man. I've liked what I've seen from Costa. I think Propaholic is the right idea here with like the round 2, round 3. Like, I think it might take a while. I think Costa can hang in there, can at least make it grimy on the ground for a little bit, can just tough it out. On the feet, well, if this thing's on the feet, like, I don't love it. I think this thing will probably not be on the feet very long. I would favor Albazi, but not like, he's not a world beater on the feet. It's on the ground that he's like good. And I think Costa could just give him enough resistance to maybe like stretch this a little bit. Albazi in the distance is -130, I think. It's like, which is fine. Let me say what it's 125. That's fine for, especially against the short notice guy. And yeah, he's going to be in my drafting lineup, but I just think it can be a little bit. I think Costa could give him a little more resistance than people are giving him credit for.
Okay.
I would like Albazi round 3 works for me.
That's not even a problem for DraftKings. If it gets the
you're going to do better. You'll do better because he's going to be.
I think that's one of those fights. Exactly.
Now hold on now, but you hate his salary.
I generally do hate his salary. It just, I guess it depends who the fighter is.
You hate 9,600.
I do.
I'm not calling you out on that.
Well, because it wins at 86% rate, but it only makes optimal in 20% of its fights, which is definitely not good. It's generally too expensive to make optimal, Lou. You are right about that, which is a risk we're taking here. But I'm hoping for 112, 120, something like that. That would be stupendous. And even at 9,600, we'd have to have scores like last week for that one not to make it. So there were some crazy scores last week. Jared Gordon ended up making the optimal lineup in a loss, scoring 50 some points. So we've had a couple of fighters lately make it on losses. So not expecting that from Costa, but man, it could be tough for Albazi to pay off that salary. You're not wrong. I wish it was 9,500. They skipped 9,500, Lou. That's my favorite one, and they skipped right over it. They just don't even give a shit about my feelings.
Maybe they couldn't figure out if Morozov or Matthews should be like. maybe they just couldn't figure it out.
Oh,
that is
it's
weird.
Just right there.
That is kind of weird in a car with so many heavy favorites that we didn't get one like that.
Yeah, I agree. They did it on purpose. They know it's a good salary and they avoid it on purpose. Here's one that could be if it's a toss up between this one and the Dober fight for fight of the night for me. Arman Sarukian going against Damir Ismagulov. Lou, why don't you go ahead and start us off on this one?
All right, let me get this out of the way. I think Ismagulov lost to Guram. I thought it was close, but I think he lost that fight. And Sarukian, you could make a case that he beat Gamrot. I'm not going to sit here and argue. Like, I didn't think it was like
extremely close fight.
I didn't think it was a horrible robbery. It wasn't like an extreme robbery, but I did have a play on Sarukian that night. I have this fight also to end in split decision.
There it is. Yep.
And
good call.
And I think if purely based on the number, you have to play Ismagulov here. But my issue is for DraftKings, Ismagulov has like he's just not a good scorer with his style.
Yep.
And Sarukian, look, this isn't like if it's anything like if you get like half of the Joel Alvarez fight here, he's going to score like a million points. So I don't know that he can get Ismagulov. Like, and that's the thing is, we'll know in the first minute what kind of day this is going to be for Sarukian. Because if he gets a takedown early, I don't think Ismagulov, who could defend takedowns well, I don't think he's getting up from Sarukian if he's taken down. But if it stays on the feet, I favor Ismagulov to just kind of stay at range and pepper him, do damage, but not an extreme amount of damage. And I mean, this goes to, I think I can see Sarukian get a finish here if he gets a takedown. That's what it's going to take. He's not going to get a finish on the feet.
Yep.
He ain't finishing him on the feet. But I think this ends in a weird split decision. I think this is going to be another, judges like don't love Ismagulov's style. I think it's going to be curious if Sarukian can get like a takedown the last minute of a round, but Ismagulov was getting the jab going for 3 minutes. Like it's going to be tricky to score. If it's anything like last week, the guy that gets a takedown the last minute's going to win because that's what Patty the Batty did. So, we'll see how that goes. But I think this goes a distance. It's split decision. I think you have to bet Ismagulov based on the number, but I have zero confidence in betting him. I'm way confident in this fight going the distance.
Yeah, I agree. I think it goes the distance as well. I will not be on it necessarily for DraftKings because obviously when it goes to a decision, I don't think anybody's going to land a ton of takedowns. Because like Lou said, if there are takedowns, that guy's possibly going to finish the fight.
The price disparity is way too big for the line.
It's crazy.
It's way too big for the number.
I'm going with Ismagulov in like cash lineups. That's how I'm looking here. I'm picking the dog outright to win this fight. First of all, Ismagulov is my pick. I just think he can get it. I love Arman Sarukian. I love this fight as a whole. I loved the Gamrot Sarukian fight. I did have a little bit on Gamrot that did come through. A bit of a questionable decision, but not egregious for sure. And that's the thing. Ismagulov is going to be tested. He simply does not allow takedowns. That's the story on him so far. That is the stats that he's put together.
And
Arman does not allow takedowns
the most.
And exactly, he will test it the most. And Arman is no fucking joke. Ismagulov averaging 1.31 points a minute is all he gives up. That's it. The best number on the card. He's also almost $2,000 cheaper than his average salary, guys. That's the thing here. You're getting a deal on Ismagulov, and if he wins, he might not put up a ton of points. It might not be flashy. It might not be pretty. But at that price, he's got a chance of making optimal with any sort of win. I mean, if he scores 70, 80 points, who knows what's going to happen? It depends on the rest of the card. So I like Ismagulov here. Do not like this fight for GPP at all. Won't be touching it with a 10-foot pole. Hoping to get some leverage play on that because as of now, this fight is owned 40% projected. Sarukian's at 25, which seems crazy to me. And Ismagulov, anything more than like 10% is outrageous in GPPs, in my opinion. So I'll be playing it for cash. I like a bit of Ismagulov, but like I believe it was Propaholic said, I'm just going to be watching this one as a fan. This is a great co-main event. And I don't want to see either guy lose. I don't want to see Sarukian go 0-2 in his last two. And I don't want to see Ismagulov with a not zero in that loss column. So this one's going to be a bit tough, but guys, just enjoy it. It's one of the last great fights of 2022 for sure. Maybe the last quote unquote great fight. I do think this fight could be good, but that last one could be great. Jared Cannonier, the main event, going against Sean Strickland. Lou, I will start this one off because I know the people want to hear your take last to finish this off for this card.
Oh yeah,
Sean Strickland. They do that. They told me that. I get so many emails. Actually, I get mail like Santa. I'm dumping out bags and shit. Sean Strickland, 8,500 over Jared Cannonier. I had to do a double take on these salaries, Lou. I just to make sure that Strickland
for the line. This is crazy.
Right? I had to double take it because the Strickland was the favorite here, and at 8,500. My goodness, I'm gonna have to pick Sean Strickland here by decision. I think this is a completely obvious way to go. Can Cannonier get it done earlier than that? Of course. We saw Sean Strickland just get deaded by our current champion. Not saying that's going to happen with Cannonier here. Cannonier didn't rule. I can't think of the Kickboxing Association now off the top of my head, Lou. Sorry, but Cannonier did not rule that division for years like Pajeda did. But Sean Strickland by decision, I think, is a fantastic bet. I don't like this play really for DraftKings. Maybe a bit of cash. Cannonier side, I guess you can play at 7,700, but his ownership is way high right now, 42%. I'm not going to have anywhere near that, so you have to go under on that one. Unless you think he's going to kill Strickland, then I guess you'd have to go way. Oh, those are your choices here. Like 10, 15% Cannonier or like 60, 70% Cannonier. You can't just pussyfoot around at 42. Sean Strickland, 31%. I don't know if I like that either. I might be low on this fight. I'm picking Sean Strickland to win. I'll probably pick Sean Strickland in cash. But yeah, I just think this one's going to be, he'll be able to keep Cannonier at distance. He'll be able to piece him up whenever he wants. Little 1-2 here and there. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 1-2. That's how it's going to go for Sean Strickland. 25 minutes. I think he gets it done. I think he scores okay. What are your thoughts on this main event, UFC Vegas 66?
Clearly you didn't watch the prop show. Now I know. Now I know you didn't watch the prop show.
That's not true. I considered betting it.
So I put two $5 bets in on Cannonier to win from the 2-minute mark to the 3-minute mark.
Oh wow.
And from the 3-minute mark. So I basically have it between the 2-minute mark and the 4-minute mark of the first round. Because Strickland's 2 KO losses have come in that range.
Okay.
This is not technical analysis. I can't stand Sean Strickland. I hate everything about I don't like everything that he is something I don't like. Now, is he going to have more volume? You would assume so. You would assume that he'd have more volume, but the problem is, but the threat of Cannonier, oh shit, look, he's in the goddamn chat promoting his elephant movie.
Revenge Elephant Monday. Slammy.
Like the threat of Cannonier, like Strickland's last fight, or the one against Hermanson, there wasn't a threat of him getting bonked. He wasn't worried about it. So he could throw more.
True.
This one, he definitely has to mind his P's and Q's here because Cannonier, even at 40, is still going to be the more powerful striker here. So I think Strickland's going to have to play smarter. Now, in terms of cardio, it's not like Cannonier looked bad against Adesanya, but yes, the later this fight goes, I favor Strickland to definitely start putting up more volume. I'm not going to say he's going to mix in a takedown because I don't fucking know if he's going to mix in a takedown. I mean, I can guarantee.
I'd be shocked if he did.
You know how I can make it so that he won't do a takedown? I'll bet him by submission.
There you go.
And then I guarantee you he won't go for a takedown in this fight. I guarantee it at that point. So I like Cannonier, but I'm going to play Cannonier. This is the way I'm going to get to it in a parlay. I like Cannonier finish only. I don't know how Cannonier wins because I don't know how Cannonier wins decision. I know how
that seems impossible.
And I think Strickland could get a late finish, but he doesn't seem to have that urgency in 5 rounds. He's like, no, he's content being like, yep, I win.
Yep.
So I think
we've seen it in Jotko Hall and Hermanson. We've seen it.
Yeah, he's the better boxer. He's the more, he's a more active striker. But I just don't see him getting, Cannonier out of here. So if you like Strickland, I do like that. If you like Strickland, just playing money line. His money line is completely reasonable.
Yep.
And if you like Cannonier and you want to be a little safer, I think finish only is probably all right.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and I didn't mention Yambag. Sorry, I never got to the Yambag play. Well, I didn't really have one this week. So I'm like, well, what fight could involve takedowns and people being fatigued that's low level? And it's not a yam bag fight, Monk.
Oh, it's a clam bag.
We're ending the year with a clam bag fight. Vlismus McKenna. By the way, it's so weird that we got all these like really low level women's fights. I'm not complaining about like some of them were really cool. Like this is not like a complaint in that regard. But in the last 2 cards of the year, we get no women's fights on a pay-per-view, and we get one on this card.
I thought that was very strange.
Like it's weird balance. So,
we got a Saeed versus Saeed, a Saeed bag matchup there, possibly.
Yeah.
No, I love that. Just before we go, since we do have a little bit of time here, we did have a fight cancel, Marquez and Win. I'm just curious to see where you would have fallen on that.
Oh, you really have to ask me? Marquez by like prison rape.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's like, oh man, Win was going to take him down because Marquez got taken down by Matolo. Like, what? Dude, Darren Win is like, look, man, his Twitter game's pretty cool. He's funny. But like,
Marquez would have 15, stand up.
Marquez would have 15 minutes to do this. Ready?
Yeah.
He'd have 15 minutes to do it once. And I said something earlier in the week. I could not believe Marquez's round 3 was plus 550. I have never seen a number. I've never seen a round 3 number like that.
That's
550.
That's crazy.
And I was like, so then I'm like, well, do I take it? Like, yeah, the thing is Win's he's too small for Win's just kind of like, what's he supposed to do?
Exactly.
Like he can't cut weight.
Nope.
And he can't. What's he gonna do? Fight at 205? Like and die? Like, look.
Could you imagine him at 205?
Like, look. Just if Win wants to wrestle, I have the easy answer. Book him against Bo Nickel.
Oh.
And then let him wrestle. Then let's see how good his wrestling is.
Lou, the mastermind over here. Oh man,
I
he hates
wait.
Jaron Win. Huh?
I am so excited for Bo Nickel to beat. Like as said on this show several times, cannot wait for Bo to beat Khamzat Chimaev for the title at the end of 2023. I cannot wait.
Wow, that would be huge. What can you get a future on that? Can you get in on that right now?
No, you'd have to wait till the year turns over to bet like future. Oh, and by the way, how many people you think are fucking pissed as to who is going to be the champion at 205?
Dude.
I mean, look, the book should refund. They should just refund the bet. But like,
so sad.
I don't do futures like that because like
that's tough. That's
no,
a tough
I don't
spot.
like. Look, well, I told you I have a bet now in January.
Yeah.
That's how I fucked up.
I
did like a fucking horseshit soccer round robin. I'm like, oh man, I just want to like do something. It was like a Wednesday day. I'm like, hey man, I just want to bet. And I didn't realize it's the last leg was an Italian game. It's January 4th. Now, like 2 of the 3 legs won. So it's like $190 if this bet hits. And I'm like, all right, let's go AC Milan like in January. And it's at 6:30 a.m. So like there's a very good chance I'll forget that I have this bet in.
Yep.
And there ain't I'm not waking up just to watch. I mean, well, I wake up at 7:30.
Serie A,
that's
the what we're talking about?
Yes, the Premier League I will wake up for at 7:30. I will not wake up for Serie A.
There you go.
I
get points for knowing that at least? Thank you.
It almost gets you on the positive side of the ledger for going against
yes,
Cody Brondage here. But yes, yes. I have a bet in January now. I would just like to wake up and be like, oh, awesome, I have money.
Yeah, there you go.
That worked.
Yeah, January 4th. All right, guys, we did it. That is all 13 fights from UFC Vegas 66. Super quick. Guys, we want to thank you, and I know Lou feels the same way. I think I can speak for both of us. 2022 has been an interesting year, but what we do know is that the MMA engine has been kicking some ass, taking some names, and I would rather be nowhere else than right here Friday at 4:30, 5:30 Eastern with my guy Lou, with you guys in the chat. Fantastic time. This is my favorite show of the week every single week, and I really honestly look forward to doing it with you, Lou, and with you guys in the chat. So thank you for joining us as usual. Find me over on MonkMMATics. You know the drill. Watch my game theory video for the last time in 2022. And also, I will have, I think starting Tuesday the 20th, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be putting out videos, one every day, highlighting the best DraftKings players from each and every weight class, and that will culminate with a year-end video on New Year's Eve, talking about the best DraftKings players in the entire UFC. No weight classes talked about. So please join me for that. Looking forward to putting that series together. Lou, why don't you tell the people where they can find you for one last time in 2022?
You better not put that video out during our company meeting on Tuesday.
Oh, no, definitely not. It'll be after. I have my priorities.
It's so hard to schedule all you fools at the same time. Like, it's fucking crazy. We're all like almost in the same time zone too. So I'm like,
right?
Fuck, why is this so difficult?
I know. Well, one of us might have like 500 kilos of truck tires to move a day. We have no idea what's going to happen.
I got 500 kilos of something. Something in my house. That's why I think I got this covering on the couch.
There you go.
Find me on Lou Betya. This is our, like I said earlier, was our 39th show. I actually counted to the first week of February was my first show. Was our first show. It was on your channel. I didn't have a ring light, so I went back and it did not look good. It was a very bad look. And now I've realized that between NFL, all the MMA shows, soccer shows I've done, dude, I'm not even joking. I've done like 250 shows this year.
Oof.
Like, there's been weeks I've done 13
journeyman.
shows. So I say this with all due respect to you and to the chat and to anybody watching this. I need a goddamn fucking break. I am happy we're going on a month hiatus. I can use the time. But while we're on hiatus, this is important. Just because we're not doing content, I will be doing a fuck ton of shit behind the scenes. All this IT work that has fallen through the cracks, all the time-consuming nature that it is to do content every week, especially for 3 sports.
Right.
I now get to pour all that effort into the IT stuff, the data stuff that we are doing behind the scenes. And early in the year, I should have some really cool tools out that we can test. Our presentation should look different.
Yep.
Maybe, hopefully by the 40th show, it will look a little different.
There you go. Something to look forward to.
Guys. I won't have any more hair. That won't be the difference. The difference will not be this presentation will be no different. That, sorry, over there.
The actual face. Yes.
Right.
Agreed. Well, with that, Lou. All
right, let's get out of here.
With that chat, we will get out of here. I've got something to eat at some point here coming pretty soon. Got to get some something in the old belly before we get started for Friday.
So good.
That sounds amazing, actually. Chat, for the last time this year, thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like, hit the sub on the MMA Engine channel. Look for any more content. I know Brady, Wheezy have some more stuff. Possibly Lou. I don't know if he's doing any shows before the card kicks off, but they've got some stuff coming out that you should check out.
Well, I actually have one more show.
There you go.
Tonight, I don't know. I'm not doing the whole thing, but there's a watch along tomorrow with
oh, that's right.
Blood Money Bets, Cody, Johnny K Picks, Addicted to Combat, maybe Dale from Punch List for some of it because his guy Dober's on it. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I don't have 6 hours in me.
It's a marathon.
Do it, but I'll be popping in. It's not about the bets you make; it's about the friends you make along the way. So it should be a good time, a good way to wrap up the year. And they've been out of hand fun, these things for us. So I'll say that.
I did check it out the one last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, guys, with that, we want you all to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you next year, 2023. Have a good one.